Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show. 4 NBA games on Saturday to kick off the playoffs. Already have a video up for the first game with the Pacers and the Bucks. This one, we're taking a look at the Clippers and the Nuggets. Make sure to subscribe to that channel. Don't miss any of the videos, one for each of the games on Saturday, so you can get all the matchup info and stuff you need to get those bets down. I'm going to be taking a look at the insights here and some series notes for everything that you need to get those bets in on this Clippers and Nuggets game. Hoping to get these bets down on Saturday morning as I record this here on Friday afternoon. So if that all sounds good, give this video a like. Let's get right into it. Let's just get right into these series notes to kick it off. They split the series here in the season. LA won the first 2, Denver won the last 2, and Kawhi missed all 4 matchups. That's going to be the key here for this series. And really game 1 is, in terms of handicapping this game, don't really know what this series is going to, or this matchup is going to look like entirely with Kawhi out there for the Clippers just yet. So I'm not in a rush to put down too many bets. Going to go a little bit lighter on this game than maybe some of the other game ones. Still have a few bets I know I want to put down, but I do want to see how Kawhi impacts things because it's really going to impact the matchups, which we'll talk about in 1 second. Harden, Norm Powell, I always want to call him Norm Stewart, and Zubac all played all 4 games, I should say, and then Jokic and Gordon missed 1, but MPJ, Murray, Brown, Westbrook all played all 4. So the key takeaway is we don't have the exact matchups because we haven't had like one game with everybody, especially because of Kawhi. But for the most part, most of these stars played at least 3, if not 4 games in the season series. So let's take a look at how we see how the Clippers offense matches up with the Nuggets. As we get into these matchups, if you do want to jump into the VIP, reminder that we have the code for the playoffs, YOFS25 will get you 50% off your first 3 months in the VIP, take you through the NBA playoffs into the W as well for those of you who are going to follow along for the WNBA bets we're going to be putting down this summer. And then we've got plenty of folks in there with the MLB stuff that they're providing. Got a couple VIP cappers, including Buddy Irons, up about 20 units on the early season in the MLB, so shout him out. Looks like today on Friday as I record this, it's going to be a good baseball day for betting overs as well. But let's get into this matchup up here, starting with Harden on offense. And this one's interesting to me because I could see Aaron Gordon playing on Harden at times, but for the most part, we're going to see Brown out there as the primary defender. And one guy I'll bring up as well that we could see getting a few minutes is going to be Peyton Watson. Peyton Watson has some big minutes logged against this Clippers team in 2 games this season, as he's really one of the better defenders for Harden. Might even be a good, helpful defender for Kawhi Leonard as well. So I think we might see some more Peyton Watson than we've seen in recent games. But Murray will be on Dunn, or perhaps like Derrick Jones Jr. when he comes in. That'll be someone he's guarding off ball, right? They don't really want him as the point of attack key to the defense. And then Porter Jr. on Powell, and then Gordon on Leonard, Jokic on Zubac. Just what we should at least mention briefly about this is like we haven't seen Leonard out there. So Gordon actually was guarding Harden at times. We've also seen him guarding Powell. Like he was guarding a lot more perimeter guys against the Clippers before Kawhi came back. Now Kawhi is back. I got to assume that he's going to be guarding Kawhi. But again, one of the reasons I'm not getting too many bets down in this game is going to be the fact that I need to see how the matchups play out. On the other side, pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty much just everybody kind of following who guarded them to a degree, but obviously Dunn and Murray will continue to play on each other as Brown and Harden as well. So it's really just going to be one-on-one on both sides, which really doesn't lead to too much fast break, right? When you see guys all guarding the same guy that's guarding them, that generally means they're all tracking each other on the way back down the court, meaning there's often less fast break opportunities in these games. So another thing I want to keep an eye on is the transition points, the fast break points in this game. Are we seeing that play out where when guys guard the same guy that's guarding them, fewer fast break points are available for each team? As always, going to be using Props Madness for this sports betting research that we're doing here for these player props in the NBA. Definitely make sure to use code LYB if you do want to sign up and use this platform. That'll get you 7 free days to trial it out, see if you like it. And then you can also get 25% off when you do use this code on the first month for Props Madness. Best time saver, most efficient way to be researching all these NBA player props, as well as the WNBA when we get there pretty soon. But looking at the first couple bets I have that I'd like to get down in this game, I've got a lot of stuff that I'm looking at more so for the Clippers than for the Nuggets. Again, no bets that I have down on my card. I'm recording this on Friday. Don't bet the day before here in the NBA. Going to be looking to get these down on Saturday morning. But the first guy I got to look at here is it's got to be Kawhi. Let's just start at the top here, man. Let's just start with the chalk. He's still at 24.5 points. I could see this getting to 25.5. It does seem like it's moving there. It's actually just dipped over in DraftKings to 25.5 points. I would take this at 25.5 as well. A couple things that we're looking at for Kawhi this season. Let's put him on the court with everybody, or at least in the game with James Harden, Norm Powell, Zoo. Let's put Bogey out there as well. Just make sure everybody that's usually available is going to be out there. And then look at what his numbers are on the season. So in the last 14 games, he's at 27 per game. This is 14 games on the season that he's played with all these guys. He's looking at 10 of 14 that he's gone over, 27 points per game. Some of these games where he went under, he had 24 minutes against Dallas because they won by 23, so he didn't really need to play. He did play 39 against Orlando. Much better defense than Denver. Like Denver's defense, bottom half of the league, as we know, been awful all season. Grizzlies had 37 minutes. They won by 20. He only took 12 shots in this game. That's kind of the key of what I'm looking at, why he went under. And then a nice win that they had by 35 against the Hornets, rather, in March. So he only played 27 minutes in that game. All the other games, if you give him 30 minutes, he's over in almost all of them. And I don't know why we would expect him to play anything less than like 36. He's liable to play 38 in this game at 27.6 per game, over an 8 of 10 in these situations when he gets at least 30 minutes. And that's where we are now, man. Like, I don't have any head-to-head stuff for him this season. Doesn't matter. Like, I know Aaron Gordon's a good defender. I know that that individually they might have one or two guys that are good defenders. Doesn't matter. As a team in transition, off of the spot up where he's going to be, off of the ISO ball where he'll be a lot, right? They're just going to clear out. It's going to be Harden doing his thing and then passing to Kawhi on some possessions to just say, go and do you, right? And whichever spot Kawhi wants the ball on the floor, whether it's the elbow right here, whether it's on the extended wing out here, these are all places that Denver gives up a ton. So I'm not afraid of Kawhi. I think this is going to easily get up to 26.5 points by game 2 after he has a good game in this one. So I'm going to be going over on his points. And while I do like the boards, I don't have as big of an edge there, right? 7.6 versus 6.5. So he needs 7. You're getting plus money, which is still pretty good. And when we give him the 30 plus minutes with all these guys, this is a good look. But I want to see who he's defending. If he is on Aaron Gordon, maybe you do consider that better for the rebounds. And I would like to go over if I can confirm that he is going to be guarding Aaron Gordon and they're not going to do anything, clever with him and put him somewhere else, maybe like on MPJ. Just want to see what's going to happen here. And then we can bet more on the boards. But I don't really care what the matchup is. He's hot. It's the playoffs. Kawhi in the playoffs, by the way, has been an absolute killer. If you look at his stuff here on StatMuse over the course of time, there have been multiple playoffs years where he's averaged 30 plus points for the whole playoffs. So really looking forward to this Kawhi playoffs. Hopefully he is back and completely healthy, and I think we're going to see a really big series from him overall. Moving on, go ahead and give the video a like if you're getting anything out of it. And like I said, do recommend subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on the other individual episodes we have for each of the games here on Saturday in the playoffs. But the next guy I want to go to is actually more of a stay away because I'm not dumb enough to go under on James Harden assists against the Nuggets, who were a bottom 5 team, limiting assists on the season for like the whole season. In fact, they were the worst for most of the season. Well, Harden against this team, if we look at him on this season head to head, he's got some nice games that he's played all 4 against them, 16 on 18, 11 on 18 potential assists. But then the last 2, obviously, they got waxed by 22 and 23 points. So he had much fewer assists. Here's the thing, though. If I look at James Harden this season with Powell, Zubac, let's give him Kawhi. Let's put Bogey out there as well, whatever. Let's say we've got all those guys available. He's at 8.4 assists per game. Right? If we open up the advanced filters, actually reopen them and look at the potential assists right here, you can see on the season, he's at 13.7. When you give him all of his guys that are going to be out there, he's at 11.8. That ain't it, right? Like 11.8 potential assists to get 9 or 10 assists is ludicrous. Like you expect this at 55, maybe 60% of his potential assists turning into actual assists. But for him to average 11.5 in these situations, and now he's expected to get 10 dimes on it doesn't happen, right? Like it's almost unheard of. When it does happen, there's probably some weird stat issue with the stat guy at the table. So my main point is, as much as we all are going to immediately think Denver suck versus assists, Harden good at assists, we should bet over on Harden. Let's just put a quick pause on that and realize that, like, that's not just a guarantee. Let's see if he can get the potentials up in this game and if he really does act strictly as like a playmaker. But I'm not there with it yet. What we've seen with him, with everybody playing, is this is a little bit closer than you might think to go over on his dimes. Moving on to a bet that I would like to go over, still holding off on this one, but it is Ivica Zubac over 11.5 boards. And the main reason I don't like it at 11.5 is the odds here. It's really like the minus 130, and I see it tipping over. But once we get to 12.5, now you're kind of losing me on the bet here. What I want to show you guys is when he plays with everybody as well, right? We got to make sure that we have all the guys that are going to be available for LA out there and consider all the games that they've played when we look at these props. Well, when we do that with all these guys available, he's at 12.9 boards per game. The rebound chances, if we scroll down, are at about 21.5, which is about the same. There was a point earlier on when he was playing with Kawhi out there, and Norm wasn't out there for a few of them as well, where he was getting a lot of boards. He was at like 14 boards per game with Kawhi out there. Kind of slowed down a little bit. Even if we give him like 30 minutes, or let's rebound chances. Let's say we go to the minutes and assume he's probably going to play like 36, but we'll just give him a floor of 30. Right. Well, in this situation, he's still at 13.2. You're talking about dipping into 12.5 to where he needs 13. Becomes a lot more of a 50-50 bet. If you want to take that at even money or slightly plus money, you probably have a slight edge, but not a massive edge. The other consideration I did have for him, though, was the dimes. Those are a little bit better with these guys out there. You look at them, they're at about 3 per game. Over in half of the games that he's played with all these guys. If we look at the potential assists, those are only at 3.5, right? So the thing that's going to make people want to bet on this more than anything is if you go to the head-to-head numbers this season against the Nuggets, he's gone at least over 2.5 in all 4 of them, right? His potential assists are actually good. They're at about 6.5. That's really enticing. If he's at 6.5 dimes, I like him to get potential dimes. I like him to get 3 against the Nuggets here, who are bad in general, limiting assists to centers. They're like bottom half of the league. They're not notably bad. They're just not good. But that being said, like his playmaking goes way down when he plays with these guys on the season, or when he's played on court with them. He is at about 3.4 assists per 36 minutes when he's playing with Kawhi, Norm, and Harden on the floor. But when he's played in games with Kawhi in general this season, if we just take away the head-to-head and look at him in games with Kawhi, let me add him to that, it's going to look a little bit worse, right? We're going to get, in terms of the potential assists especially, 3.2, right? There are some games where he's getting more than 3 dimes, and like that's great. Power to him. Let's get this up a little bit. But it's still 2.8. Potential assists still 3.2. I just can't quite get there at minus 160, minus 145 for him to get 3. I'm a little bit out on that, but if you want to take some plus money for him to get like 4, I don't know. It doesn't seem like the game for it. I wish I could tell you to do it, but I still can't responsibly really just support that kind of bet here in the playoff game. Couple looks I have on the other side for the Nuggets. I just want to start with Aaron Gordon on the boards here. There's 2 props I really think are just too low. I don't know if they're going to be there on Saturday morning when I'm going to start getting these bets down, but I do know that 4.5 rebounds for Aaron Gordon is too few. I know that right here we see in the last 19 games, only 4 boards when he's playing with Jokic, with Murray, Porter, Brown, and Westbrook, right? But let's do this for the season. There's been a lot more than 19 games, all right? So over in 20 of 32, averaging 5 per game, right? Minus 130, minus 145, not the best juice, but still decent enough odds for me to be okay with an over on Aaron Gordon. The key here is the minutes, because he's had such random and erratic minutes totals this season, mostly because he was hurt and he's coming back. Then he started coming off the bench, which was helpful. Michael Malone was doing his thing when he was still coach of the Nuggets, trying to tinker and figure out the lineups. But most importantly, it's the playoffs. They are going to rely on this dude. He's a 30-minute-a-game guy when he plays in the playoffs. And when he's playing at least 30 minutes with all the bros here, really nice hit rate, 66.6 boards, over in 15 of 17 games. Let's dumb the minutes down to let's say he has a ceiling of 36, which, by the way, this is still conservative. It's the playoffs, right? If you look at Aaron Gordon in the playoffs, he's playing a lot more minutes. Last season in the playoffs, 23-24. Let me take Westbrook out of there. If you look at him playing with everybody, the minutes were up at 37 minutes per game. This is 23-24 playoffs. Just wanted to show you he's not a 30-minute-a-game guy. He's not even a 36-minute-a-game guy in the playoffs. He is a 37-minute-a-game guy in the playoffs. So if we come back to 24-25, let me make sure Westbrook's in all these games. We've got him here at normal minutes, 4 boards. Let's make sure we have all games. It's 32 that he's played with this team. And if you took the floor of the minutes, put him at 30, and let's say, again, the ceiling, we give him 37 just to be conservative, right? This is where he's playing. Come on, man. Like this is the low end of what he's doing on the season here at 6.3 boards. Rebound chances are at 8.7. So it's like not the best rebound chance, but 5 boards on 9 rebound chances for Aaron Gordon. Good enough rebounder for that, I would think, and I would hope. The only other thing that would kind of keep me from doing this is like, well, let's say he's not guarding Kawhi. Let's say they do put him on James Harden for a little bit. That seems dramatic. I think they would rather have Peyton Watson. But if that were the worst case scenario, then yeah, this would be a threat to the bet. That's such a low percentage of likelihood that he's the main defender on James Harden for most of this game that I'm good with him guarding almost anybody else and being in position for these rebounds. So like him, to get over 4.5 would still drink the juice on this one, but 5+ is going to be a play for Aaron Gordon on the boards for me. One more prop line that's just too low for me is Russ. He's at 3.5. Again, you got to drink the juice, meaning you've got to take really poor odds on this, right? But let's just, first of all, he's at 6 on the season, right? If you look at him with everybody, let's make sure we have all the games. I think he's played 32, right, with everybody as well. Over in 25 of 32. When you give him 4+ assists that he needs in this game, he's averaging 5 in these situations. His potential assists are awesome. They're at 8.7 with everybody. That's basically 9 to get 4 assists. I'm fine with him to get 5 in that situation. In fact, if we look at him at over 4.5 assists, he still has a 65% hit rate in these games, right? Where he's averaging, let's see what the minutes are here, 26 minutes per game. So let's be a little bit conservative again. Let's say that Russ plays like 25, 24 minutes. Let's say he doesn't get all the way up to 26, whatever. Give or take 1 minute, it's not going to make a big difference. But let's give him on the minutes like at least 20. And then let's say that he's capped at like 24, for instance, right? We're still at 5.6 assists per game. This is the 4.5 number for plus money that I'm talking about here, right? This isn't even the 3.5. This is the 4.5 right here. 5.5, you're getting a little crazy for him to need 6, but for him to need 4.5, something he's done 93% of the time, gets us plus money here on DraftKings. It's plus 124. I mean, the potential assists still remain at about 8, 9. Like, to get 4 is great. To get 5 for plus money is still worth it to me. So again, this is a series that, like, I don't know exactly how the minutes rotations are going to work yet. I do think Russ is in danger of losing minutes to a guy like Peyton Watson, which I mentioned to you at the top of the video. And I do need to bring up Peyton Watson in conjunction with this, with Dude, because if we look at Peyton Watson head-to-head this season against this team, let's take, I know Jokic missed one, but he missed one too. 26 minutes on the 13th of December, 29 minutes on the 1st of December. Why do you think that was? Everybody was available for Denver, but yet Peyton Watson is coming in and getting big minutes against this team because of his defense against against Harden, and for his defense against Kawhi now that Kawhi is back as well. So Russ, that's, I think, why this number is low. And I think why a lot of his numbers are so low is that there's a world where Russ plays like 15, 18 minutes in that sense, and nobody's really sure that he's going to get enough minutes to get him to the over. But if we can get him to 20, let's say we can get him to 22 minutes as a projection in this game, love the overs on the assists, especially for Russ. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any of the other episodes up for Saturday's playoff games. And do use code YOFS25 if you want to jump into the VIP section of the Discord for the playoffs. And a little bit beyond, you get 3 months with 50% off on any of the packages that you want to subscribe to. So hope to see y'all in there. And until I do, happy betting.